Hey up everyone. Today I will be looking at a company who few of you will know much about. ZXJC aren't exactly a household name. This is a company formed from a rift, but that rift may just be the start of something special. Those of you that were around back then will remember when I first began to talk about this upstart company from China with a passionate CEO who were taking on the Dakar. It seems an age ago now, and Kobe have made leaps and bounds from the image of cheap Chinese bikes that we had back then. But as I said in 2024 in the video I'll link at the end, they lost their inspirational leader. Zhang Xue is an enigmatic character, and I will never forget his tears of despair and joy at the Dakar and his determined face as he worked through the night in the bivouac to try and make sure the bikes reached the finish. After his resignation, all went quiet, and we have never had any real explanation as to what happened. But last year I told you about a new 500cc four-cylinder sports bike that was coming, and that he had started a new company called ZXJC. The bike actually has a 470cc motor, and it is to be the first in a whole new range of bikes, and the new company, driven by the passion of Zhang Xue, is coming to take on the West. Euro 5 homologation isn't quite there yet, but it is on the horizon. And with a big stand at both CIMA, the biggest Chinese motorcycle exhibition, and EICMA in Europe planned, the homologation looks to be getting closer by the day. Zhang Xue left a lot at Kobe, and all of the bikes in the Kobe range are still the bikes he designed. Now, having put everything on the line, starting his own company with the sole focus of making the best bikes ever to leave China. I will talk about some of the specs of the 500RR later, because I do like the concept, but on top of the launch of this high-revving inline 4-cylinder 470cc sports bike, there are a host of other bikes coming. For now, have a listen to the 500RR. You can see from the initial marketing catalogue pictured here that they have some serious plans. When you see comments like extreme performance and driven by passion, it does reassure me that the people involved are coming at it for the right reasons. With a focus on simplicity and purity talked about in the briefing, I start to get really interested. And looking at his history, it seems Apollino are possibly the biggest dirt bike manufacturer I have never heard of, and at Huanghe Motors he was a part of the team that developed China's first fuel-injected dirt bike. He boasts more than 100 workers that are focused purely on research and development, and for such a small company that is a huge statement of intent. And with Hiroki Anadera as one of the several Japanese engine development staff, we have to take notice. They have their eyes on the World Supersport 600 Championship in Europe now, and it looks very much like he is taking on the Dakar again as soon as the new Rally 450 is finished. There are 6 different 4-stroke engines in development, as well as some 2-strokes we are yet to hear about. So this company is on the move, and anyone who ignores them is a bit daft in my opinion. The projected top speed of the 500RR is 146 miles per hour, but that is just the beginning. Next to come will be an 820cc triple, and there are actually 3 bikes coming using the 820cc engine. The first will be the 820RR, the result of a project dubbed Project 299. The number 299 is the target speed of 299 km an hour, or 186 miles per hour, taking it up to the speed specified by the gentleman's agreement which has restricted most bikes for years now. The aim? To produce the smallest, lightest bike that would reach that speed. Power is reported to be just over 151 horsepower, and I have a hunch where this design has come from, but that is a longer story I will talk about in a video coming soon. What can be seen from the designs is that the porting on both inlet and exhaust side are oval, not round. The engine also has the cam chain positioned on the left hand side, and it shares both of these design tweaks with the MV Agusta F3. Most of the other triples have the timing chain on the right, and there is a story coming that will explain this connection more. Wherever the base design comes from, be sure it has Zhang Xue's personal stamp all over the build. This is not a cloned engine. Development is where Zhang Xue has always shone most. But don't make the mistake of thinking this is a one-man show. Behind the scenes, we have an engineer that many of you won't know, but Hiroki Onodera was one of the central figures in the development of the Yamaha Genesis engine designs. Born in Hamamatsu, the home of Honda and Suzuki, it was always likely he would work in the motorcycle industry, but it was Yamaha where his true potential was revealed. He is listed as patent inventor on several of Yamaha's multi-valve valve train designs, and his portfolio of patents includes valve actuation methods and camshaft placement, but also the exhaust valve we so fondly called the X-Up. He holds patents on an airbox restrictor valve too, another way to adjust potential performance at low revs without compromising top-end speed. This isn't some production line worker. He is the person whose name is listed as inventor on a whole host of patents. He saw a passion in Zhang Xue and decided to make the move across the water to work on developing what they both believe will be the best bikes with the most sporting potential to have come out of China so far. The ZX820RR is a track-focused weapon that is wholeheartedly sports bike with no apologies. Weight hasn't been officially released yet, but a little bird told me that the aim was for the bike to be just 165 kilos or 364 pounds, which I assume will be a dry weight. Following on from that will likely be the naked 500 called the 500F, which is based on the 500RR engine. An 820R is rumoured that I imagine will be a more touring-oriented version of the 820RR, but the bike that I see as potentially quite special is an 820cc triple adventure bike. Again, the focus is to keep weight down. The aim to build a more powerful and lighter adventure bike than the Cove 800X, and therefore, if he achieves it, it will almost certainly be the lightest high-power adventure bike on the market. There is a 450 rally coming soon too, so here's tackling Cove head-on. His new engine is reportedly sitting at 60 horsepower now, which is a good jump of over 10% on the Cove, and we know he can build a great chassis. After that, the range will be finished off by 3 MX bikes, a 250, 350 and 450, as well as a street-legal 350 Enduro motorcycle. There is a more laid-back 620cc V-twin cruiser in the pipeline, and now I have it direct from the company that they also have a 1000cc boxer-engined adventure touring motorcycle in development. The company's tagline is that every ZX Moto model is designed to push boundaries and elevate the riding experience from track to trail, street to summit. Well, from what I've seen, they have well and truly stamped their mark on the first steps towards climbing the mountain that is the Western motorcycle market. Zhang Xue's contacts throughout the Chinese motorcycle industry and his experience at Cove will undoubtedly help, and bringing people like Hiroki Onodera in to bolster his own skills in engineering and design will help to push this fledgling company forward. As I said in my last video about him, Zhang Xue was never going to be quiet for long. Looking deeper into the 500RR, the 470cc double overhead cam engine produces 83 horsepower at 13,500 revs and 34 foot-pounds of torque at 11,500 RPM, but it weighs in at just 158 kilos or 348 pounds dry. That is almost 10 kilos lighter than its closest rival, the Kawasaki ZX400RR. The steering head angle is slightly steeper than the ZX400RR at 24.5 degrees, so it should be a scalpel of a bike. Wheelbase is 15mm longer, so that would maybe be the balance to hold better stability. Bore and stroke mean it's not quite as over square as the ZX400RR engine, but it's still going to be a screamer, and with peak torque at 11,500 RPM, it will be a bike that needs to be kept on the boil. Tysco brakes are well known and of established quality, and it looks like there will be a choice between a standard twin-sided swinging arm or a single-sided swinging arm, which is something that Zhang Xue has offered previously on other designs. Front forks are listed as 41mm upside down forks, adjustable for both preload and damping, but so far I'm yet to find out which brand they have gone for. KYB seem to have become the standard, but there are other options that may offer better performance for a similar price point. We shall have to wait and see on that one. A centrally mounted rear monoshock again is fully adjustable for both preload and damping, so suspension setup should be pretty well sorted. The final specifications are now on the table and they are awaiting homologation, but whether you want a track-only bike or a fast sports bike for the road, this is definitely one of the more exciting new bikes on the horizon. The company too, I think, is one to watch. Zhang Xue will never go down quietly, and managing to attract an exalted Japanese engineer like Hiroko Onodera says a lot about his attitude and determination. The two companies may well be cut from the same cloth, but make no mistake, ZXJC are coming for the market that Kove have broken into. So I can see some exciting times ahead as the two companies face off against each other as the performance option in the world of Chinese motorcycles. Thanks as always for the support, and let me know what you think in the comments. Will Zhang Xue be able to take on the company he resigned from? Which will be the winner in the Western markets? I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Try and remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and sharing the video anywhere you think people will be interested helps us a lot too. If you'd like to help us to stay truly independent, you can make a one-off donation or join our group of monthly subscribers on the Ko-fi link in the description. There you'll get access to a private group where I share videos I can't screen on YouTube. Join us on Rumble too. The channel is new, but it's already got some great content. And don't forget, we make the best biker t-shirts. Hundreds of original designs on premium quality t-shirts and neck gaiters, all available worldwide. Links to the main website and the Redbubble shop are in the description. Have a great week, and always remember, keep your spanners close and your keys even closer. Ride free, everyone!